What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for tuning in. Today's August 29th, 2023, and I'm filming this video here in Istanbul, Turkey. Yeah, my name's Simon Hill. I'm a 32-year-old Black American from Louisiana traveling around the world, and this is my address for today. Before we begin, I want to say the names of the victims who were killed in the racial terrorist attack that happened in Jacksonville, Florida a few days ago. Angela Carr, 52 years old. Rest in peace. Anant Laguerre Jr., 19 years old. Rest in peace. Gerald Deshawn Gallion, 29 years old. Rest in peace. May the names of all of the victims of this white supremacist terrorist attack never be forgotten, and may they have peace in the hereafter. Now today, I want to talk about the country that I'm in right now, and one that I've spent a considerable amount of time in, Turkey. Yeah. If you've been following my channel, you know that the majority of my travel content is actually quite positive. It's just me walking around the city, exploring a country, exploring its culture, trying to sightsee and enjoy its natural wonders. But the most important content on my channel is me talking about anti-blackness when Black travelers are traveling to help prepare them for what's outside of their home countries. I didn't make those videos popular or big. Y'all did. The consumer, the watcher. I just simply documented my life, traveled, and showed y'all. And it obviously hit a chord and resonated with people because the biggest and most important videos on my channel are all me talking about anti-Black racism while people are traveling. That's not my choice. That's the people's choice. So if you don't like what I'm gonna have to say in this video, why don't you try to find something that'll make you smile? Now, I just want to enjoy my life, live unbothered and not bother other people, and be happy and peaceful just like any other person, and show that to y'all and hopefully make it be enjoyable and entertaining. But we live in a world hostile to Black life and Black expression, so I will never, ever back down on speaking about my true experiences as a Black person, no matter where I am and no matter who gets offended. So I never want my viewers to be confused and think Simon looks like he's having fun in some country or some place, therefore it must be a good place for Black people. And in this case, I'm talking about Turkey. No. I have experienced some of the worst anti-Black racism in my life here in Turkey. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Now, I made my first video talking about anti-Black racism in Turkey well over a year ago. And while it's not the biggest video on my channel, I believe it's actually the best video I ever made in my Blacksit series. And I spoke about so many different facets of Turkish life, culture, and identity that is inherently anti-Black, especially its history. Now, since that video, have I experienced more anti-Black racism? Well over a year after that. Yes. There are too many incidents to name, and the majority of the time, I brush them off my shoulder when it does happen and quickly soon forget about them. But the ones that stick out in memory right now, I will bring them up and start from what I believe to be the earliest to the latest, which happened yesterday. One of the most emasculating and humiliating situations that ever happened in my life happened when I was taking the bus from Istanbul city center to the airport. This was around 2020 because I remember I still had to wear my COVID mask and I was chewing gum under my COVID mask. When I was bringing my duffel bag to the porter who was supposed to put the bags under the bus, he hears me chewing gum under my face mask and he's talking to me in Turkish about me chewing my gum. I don't understand him. My wife is standing right next to me and she tells me he's annoyed by you chewing your gum. I'm like, okay. And before I can even stop trying to chew my gum to, I guess, appease him or anything like that, he decides to put his dirty, nasty, brown Turkish hands on my mouth. Put his hands on my mouth over my face mask to try to tell me to stop chewing my gum. He would not have done that if I was a white man or if I was a Turkish man or any other type of person. But because he saw a Black man, he saw a person that he knew that he could humiliate and emasculate right in front of his wife. And nobody would do anything about it. I've been called racial slurs multiple times while here in Turkey, such as the word zenci, which means slave, which is the word that they use for all Black people in their language, and also the N-word. For example, when I was in Marmaris and I went to go see a person to do a pedicure, and she decides to call me the N-word multiple times in front of me while on the phone. And about a week ago, I went to a city called Giresun, which is in the north of the country near the Black Sea. I went up into the mountains of Giresun with my in-laws, and while we're walking through the misty mountain village in this beautiful city called Garrison, a man decides to hurl the N-word at me multiple times. And I didn't record it like I usually do, but it did happen. And it broke my heart, knowing that here in Turkey, I cannot be a man. I am only a nigga or a zenchi. And the most recent example of anti-black discrimination that happened here in Turkey, which finally put the nail in the coffin for me when it comes to my relationship with this country, was the classic, "Do you live here?" And if you're black, you know exactly where I'm going now. I don't know if you can tell by the scenery behind me, but this is more of a swanky-danky neighborhood here in Istanbul. I will not try to butcher the name, so don't ask me where it is, but it's a bit more of a upper middle class area with some very nice apartments, very nice houses, and it seems very quiet, calm, and serene, which is fine. But if you're a black man and you're living around people who definitely do not look like you in a more upper income area, they will harass you. There have been black men who have been literally killed for walking into their own apartments, and people don't believe they live there because they call the police or they assume that there's some trespasser and shoot at them. And Turkey is no different. And that happened to me yesterday. I come back inside yesterday from my 5-kilometer daily walk, and the security here decides to harass me, assuming that I am a person who is not supposed to be here or live here. Now, as you can see from this balcony, I have a pretty clear bird's eye view of what goes down at the front gate, and I never saw this happen to anybody else during my many long hours standing out here on the balcony, smoking cigarettes, enjoying the view. Never saw this happen to anybody else. As I'm coming back into the building from my daily 5K walk where I try to keep happy, healthy, and sane, this security guard, this old Turkish man, comes up, grabs my arm, yells in my face in Turkish about God knows what, but it was obviously about me being here and whether I'm supposed to be here or not. He stalks me all the way to the front door until I ring the person that's supposed to allow me in while he's constantly peeking over my shoulder. He looks at who I'm calling, then calls them up about whether I'm supposed to be here or not, even though I didn't do anything wrong or anything different than I see the tens of other people who come in and out of here every day. Now, the person who's allowing us to stay in this apartment is a friend of my wife's mother who's allowing us to crash here until we depart for Hungary in about 2 days. And she has a future son-in-law who is a white foreigner, non-Turkish person who does not speak Turkish, who has stayed here multiple times and has walked through these gates multiple times. And according to her own words, that has never happened to him. The white foreigner who does not speak Turkish has walked through these gates, never been questioned, never been stalked, never been harassed like that. But according to most Turkish people, everything that I just said is not examples of racism. Now, I know as soon as I post this, white people and triggered Turkish people are going to try to discredit everything I say and say that they are not examples of racism. Nobody cares what you have to say. Your comments won't be read and you'll be blocked. Black people who have been watching this video know exactly where I'm coming from, and they feel me if they really are aware. I just have to say this. In total, since I've been here in Turkey in this past year, I've seen a lot of new black faces walking around the streets. It's not as homogenous as when I was here about 2 years ago. I'm happy to see our people traveling, expanding their wings, learning, doing business, following their hearts, whatever it is they want to do. I just want to make this video to let other black travelers be aware of the microaggressions and racist tendencies in the hearts, minds, and soul of these people that walk these lands. Turkish people don't love black people. Turkish people don't respect black people, no matter if they're in their family. Nobody will stand up for us because there is no white soul on this planet that truly loves black people. Nobody will actually fight and defend us when it is actually needed for them to stand against their own kind. When they disrespect us, when they harm us, when they insult us, when they emasculate us. Black people, we're out here on our own. There is no savior for us. We cannot make friends with other groups of people and expect them to be there for us. As we walk this world, as we travel, we have to take care of each other and ourselves. We cannot expect help from people, even if they feel like they are marginalized, oppressed as well. Because within their own language, they disrespect us. When we are obeying the law and minding our own business, they disrespect us. And when we are disrespected, Turkish people, instead of calling out the racism and anti-blackness that their own people exhibit, they say that it's more important to be respectful to the Turkish person who is racist than to stand up for the black person who is disrespected by racism. And they will always deny that it does exist. It's a shame, but this is what they have been taught by their leaders, such as Ataturk, and their culture and society. Black life, black expression, black people have no say in their culture, in their society. It is what it is. I'm not surprised. Will I still have good times here? Yes, but I just have to let it be known for all the black travelers out there. And I just have to get this off my chest. So, thank you for watching. My name is Simon Hill, and peace. There's a dickhead right there in front of his home here.